So they could end up being the favorites before the series will come.
India needs to change the tempo because
What about the planning of New Zealand?
Because once you have done it, you can do it at the international level as well.
They carry on that momentum and continue the domination because
panic button is going to be,
correct.
soon. Say World Cup next year in the very same conditions in India. Priti and Harman can, actually.
Team India are stepping onto the field tomorrow. In the morning, it's the men. In the afternoon, it's the women. So it's overall day action-packed when it comes to Team Indian cricket. But what about the women's as well? They're facing the same opponents which the men's are going to face at Pune. But we can give valuable respect to them. They are the world champions now. New Zealand women stepping onto the field despite being in the ODI format, but they are T20 World Cup champions. We were always used to think about Australia, but now we had a new champion. It could have been South Africa, but it continues to be Sophie Devine, Susie Bates, Lee Tahu, who have played since the first edition, are eventually champions. I have Gurpalji, Deepu. Welcome to the show. It's going to the medium format, which is the ODI format now, despite being white ball format. But it's India versus New Zealand in a 3-match ODI series, starting with the world champions. How much credit are you giving them, Paji? They played brilliantly throughout the tournament. Did not come into the tournament, 10 losses on the trot. Nobody believed them.
I was having a banter on Twitter with someone. So as you said, coming out of 10 losses and then winning a tournament, they lost only one match against Australia, mighty Australians. So I guess they played all their poor games before the World Cup. So it's always a law of averages. So, but
Exactly.
they played exceptional cricket. I guess they peaked at the right time with the win against India. That was a morale boosting win for them because if India would have won that match, then the things would have been totally different. New Zealand might have been knocked out of the tournament. So that win gave them the confidence. The way they played, so they played the same way throughout the tournament. They lost one match only against
Absolutely.
Australia, but the tempo was same. Playing Sophie Devine, playing in the middle order, being a responsible and kept as a captain. That was a very key thing which we couldn't do with our number three batsman. We were searching the number three throughout the tournament, but hats off the New Zealand team. They thoroughly deserved this championship. The way they fought, and especially their spinners. Their spinners came to party. Amelia Kerr, Carson Jones, and I told you, Sophie Devine, Amelia Kerr, both are WPL winning champions. So they have that because once you have done it, you can do it at the international level as well. That confidence, to take that confidence from that winning habit. And Amelia Kerr, she was a heartthrob when she joined MI in the first season. And now she will be having more fans from India. Now she will get more love in it from India when she will come back for MI next season.
Absolutely. That's no doubt about that. But similarly, what planning, and then you have to deliver that in the 22 yards, Deepu. It was exception. The only game they lost to Australia, it was chasing. The rest of the games, they won, defended targets. We discussed in the final show as well. What if South Africa elects to bowl first, which was their strength, could end up being backfiring them? It did. They choked. But what about the planning of New Zealand women? It was just sensational throughout the tournament. Can they carry on? Because Sophie Devine has left captaincy for the T20 format, continues for the ODI format. Can they carry on that momentum and continue the domination? Because it's going to be the same conditions. It's India, but you will have the spinning, slow conditions at the Narendra Modi Stadium. Can they continue with that confidence away from home?
I think that belief will be high because conditions in Dubai and UAE are pretty similar to India in terms of whether they'll get that respite here, given that we are approaching winters and winters now. I think the weather will play its part, but I feel New Zealand have that momentum in their side. The reason being, obviously, they are champions now, and most importantly, that they'll be playing a one-day World Cup next year in the very same conditions in India. So I think it will be a great rest rehearsal against the hosts. And recently, they had the Wood Overs in Dubai.
Correct.
So I think it will be an ideal opportunity for the Kiwis to actually flex their muscles in the ODI format, which I think they haven't played for a long time now.
Absolutely. So they could end up being the favorites before the series. We'll come to the predictions as the show progresses. But Paji, talking about the hosts, Team India, you name the players, nobody had a good tournament overall. I'll not go similar one by one, but in overall, you name the players, nobody had a good tournament. But I'll say when it comes to the entire team not performing, is the captain who has to answer all questions. As a captain, Harmanpreet Kaur, what are your thoughts about her once again not being able to succeed in World Cup?
I guess I have not seen how Mithali Raj has captained the women's team, but if I go by my experience of men's captaincy, so I know there are matchups and all, But Harmanpreet, I guess she comes from the, like for example, she's been told you have to do this, and this. There is no innovation, no decision on the spot on the field. What she needs to do, what, because for example, when Deepti Sharma was going in the first game, she was being getting the runs. So there was no chance of giving an extra over to Pooja Vastraka. She only bowled one over. You are giving one bowler who is already having a bad day, and still you are persisting with them. So in that way also, as well as in the batting order,
Yeah,
you know there are some Richa Ghosh. If she can be good in power play, you can take a risk, because when you wanted to win the match against Pakistan by overcoming the run rate, you take it simply and you finish the match in 18-9 over. Whether you when you wanted to win in 10 overs, not in 10 overs, at least you should have tried to win in 12 or 13 overs. So there was nothing in that. You tried to play safe, and then again against Australia, why do you want to risk Disha Ghosh for a single? When you know,
exactly,
if you can
exactly,
stay for 12 balls, you will finish the match. So you sacrifice
exactly.
Disha Ghosh, and then you got yourself out, or not on the crease. So totally bad decision and
So you
bad
so you
captaincy by
said
Harman.
about Risha Ghosh, you said about bad captaincy, bad planning, and captain herself doesn't have her own decisions. A lot of things you said about. But Risha Ghosh herself is not part of this ODI squad because of her examinations. Paji, does it give a massive opportunity for somebody like a Yastika Bhatia, who is a left-hander as well at the top of the order, can bring in an X factor in the side?
Yes, because Jastika Bhatia is a very good player. She has a solid offside stroke and leg side bat, and this format might suit her as well. Because she can use the power play, then she can build on the innings. If she can play the long innings, this there won't be any pressure for her on her to
Correct.
get the ball going from the first ball or like that. But India needs to change the tempo, because then only you can be successful against the big teams like New Zealand, England, and Australia. With the New Zealand spinners performing very well, because their spinners bowled very well in T20, and they had only 4 overs. But in ODI, they will be having 10 overs. All these three spinners, and
Correct.
World Cup will be in India. So this will be a start of a preparation for the next year's ODI World Cup.
Absolutely.
And New Zealand will feel the now favorite, because pressure will be on them, and expectation will also be on them to win the ODI World Cup as well. So can they do double it with the T20 and ODI? So this series will give us the answer. I hope they won't feel complacent after that T20 World Cup, and they are definitely favorites as of now. But India has to play very well to beat them, because the
Absolutely. India
fielding
has to play.
very
Yeah.
well.
Absolutely. So India has to play very well, and that is your thoughts, and I absolutely agree with that. But Deepu, looking into both the squads overall when it comes to India and New Zealand, we see a lot of changes, a lot of rotations in the side. But what are your thoughts when it comes to looking into the side? So many youngsters getting an opportunity. Do you think India should rotate this side, or are you going like we are not coming from a good tournament against India, New Zealand, or other sides as well in the ICC World Cup? Come all guns blazing because we are playing at this venue in the ODI World Cup next year.
I think it's important to have rotations, given that we had a poor World Cup, similarly to the men's team back in 2021, and we have changed our approach in T20Is and overall in the ODIs too. I think it's important that we change our approach because it is a very timid approach, to be honest. Given the fact our middle order, they just they ensure that they themselves go under pressure whenever the required run rate touches 6 or 7, and
Hmm.
when it touches to 8, we see that obviously we all know that the panic button is going to be you know uh,
Correct.
soon. So I think it's important that we get new faces up. And what exactly Paji said about Yastika Bhatia, that we need some freshness in the top of the order who can give us explosive runs along with Sefali. And Smriti and Harman can, actually can, play that experience role in the middle order of, nurdling it around till the time, again we see Pooja Vastrakar or the smashers coming up, in the last 10 overs.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we clearly define the roles of what each batter has to do, because what we saw in the World Cup, Jemima Rodriguez was being pushed at 3 or 5, or some maybe at 6
It
as
was
well. So I
very
think
much rotated, just like Paji mentioned.
yeah, I think the
Absolutely.
roles need to
We
be
did
defined.
not have a fixed position for her.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you have to get your plannings right because once she was a 3, once she was a 4, 5. Similarly for the skipper herself as well. Switched with Sanjana, switched with Hemala. So many rotations is not expected the highest when you have to win games and you started rotating with the game versus Pakistan itself. That's not expected. But yes, this is what it is. But when it comes to the pitch report at the Narendra Modi Stadium, Paji, we all know about the history of the stadium, but it's a women's team that is going to face the day night game expecting black soil probably as the game day progresses under the lights might be batting easier. Win the toss and
Yeah,
bat first to chase.
the win the toss bat first, and black soil. Most of the ODI games are played on the black soil, and in the night sometimes it swings as well as we see in the IPL. It swings as well. So, but I guess it's a ODI format, and teams can take their time and all. So because it's not a like 20 over game, we have to got the ball rolling from the first ball. So you can take your time. You can manage your video over a 5.5 or 6 RPO as well. So and the power play is also a 10 over power play. Then you have the field restriction. Then you can have another second power play where you can take on the spinners. If you have that, if you have big hitters, you can take on the spins on the spinners. So you have to play one day very calculatively. You have to take calculative risks. You have to build a partnership. It's not a 20 over game. You have to go bang bang and lose your you kept losing wickets and momentum. So it's a one day cricket is totally different ball game as compared to the
Yeah.
T20 cricket. So here you need a strong partnership and build the partnership to lay the platform for a big finish at the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You need patience. You need to keep rotating strikes, just like you mentioned in the World Cup as very nicely. Dot ball percentage is huge in T20. Similarly, you might just have extra time to build your innings here, but you cannot still afford because after 10 overs, the fielding restrictions open. You can easily find gaps and pick your singles, but you need to constantly do that. Players to watch out for is where I'm coming towards now, Deepu. For India, I'm going with three players who need to get back into form. Smriti Mandana is somebody I need to look into. Jemima Rodriguez, what is a fixed position? I want to look into that as well. And Renuka Singh Thakur, because I think under the lights at the Ahmedabad, we might just produce swing. What are your thoughts? Any changes for you on three Indian players?
Uh, I think in this series, the openers will play a key role. So I think so Smriti definitely is there, but I'll go with Shefali along with her, and
Okay.
Renuka obviously will be there because she's a main bowler. I'll keep out Jemima for this time. For this time, I think it's better that these three, have to perform to their potential. Bat first,
Mhm.
get to 250, and defend it later on. Because to be honest, I'm not a firm believer that we can chase well till now in the women's game. So I think it's better that we bat first, and these three guys have to play the big role and setting up a win for us. So yeah, these three will be my players to watch out for India.
Okay, so you're going with the two openers and the Singh Queen, Renuka Singh Thakur. Similarly, Paji, what are yours?
I would like to see Jastika Bhatia in play at number three, Jamima at number four, and Harman can play at number five. And please, somebody should sit
Okay.
with Shefali and ask her to bat till 20 overs. If
Yeah,
Smriti is in, she should play
Okay.
till 40 overs. Or if Jamima is in, she should your number one, number three, number four. They should play till 40 overs so that your big strikers can come into party in the last 10 overs. And as for the
Okay, so what are
player,
your three players?
as for the
Yeah.
player, if Yastika plays, gets a chance, so I was looking for Yastika, Jamima, and Shringa Patil.
Okay, Yastika, Jemima, Shriyanka Patil are the three players for Gurpalji. Similarly, going to the White Ferns, Deepu starting with Georgia Plimmer is my first, without a doubt. She impressed me a lot. Brooke Halliday is second, and Eden Carson is number three because I don't want to go to the big names that themselves match winners. Three players I've gone with. What are yours?
yeah. I think Georgia will definitely come up first because the way she had that World Cup. I think that mojo is in her side at the moment. So I think she'll be coming good. But I'll go with experience as well. I think it will be Susie Bates. She has been a veteran
Okay.
for the Kiwi. So I think she'll be there, and I'll go with Tahu because New
Lee
Zealand also
Tahu.
have that.
Okay.
Yeah, because she has that great experience with us as well in the World Cup, and now she has been part of many One Day World Cups as well for New Zealand. So I think these three will play a pivotal role for New Zealand to actually win this series.
Fair enough. You need experience as well in the
Yeah.
team when it comes to facing a tough side like India. Paji, what are yours?
I will go with Rimmer, an opener. I got impressed with her. I was thinking she could be a opener we can look for in Delhi Capitals in the next year WPL, or some other franchises might look for her as well. Because if Meg Lanning wants to hang her boot, or then we can probably think of a future replacement. Her Amelia Kerr, she's a MVP, and I like that James, the left arm spinner who was a very good
Oh,
arm.
Fran Jonas. Okay.
Jonas, yeah, who was a very good arm ball. So I would
Yeah.
like to see her more in the
Okay,
ODI.
so
How
you have
she
once
plays
again,
ODI.
just like you always do, you have once again got with three different players to watch out for compared to mine. That's not is surprising to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. But now we move on to the predicted playing 11, starting with the host Team India. I've gone with my predicted playing 11. Here it is: Smriti Mandana, Shefali Verma are the openers. Jemima Rodriguez at number three, Harmanpreet Kaur at number four, the skipper herself. Yastika Bhati at five, Dayana Hemalat at six, Deepti Sharma, Arundhati Reddy, Radha Yadav, Shriyanka Patil, and Renuka Singh Thakur are the bowling all rounders and the bowlers for me. Deepu, any changes?
Not really, but I'll just ensure that the places are to play. I'll just change the places. I would, actually want Yastika to open with Shefali, and
Okay.
Smriti can come in at three. Because
Wow.
because
Okay.
in the middle order, I think it's important that we have our experienced players. So Smriti at three, Harman at four, and I'll be if I'm the coach, I'll fix Jemima spot at number five. Actually, this can
Okay.
actually be for
She
batting
plays
order.
spin well. That is the reason why you're probably going with. Okay, fair enough. That's a good suggestion. You're going with tinkering with the middle order, and I think if that works out, that should be one of the fixed positions for the
Yeah.
three of the batters as well. Similarly, going to the White Ferns playing 11 as well. Here is my predicted playing 11 for New Zealand women. Susie Bates, Georgia Plummer remain the openers. Amelia Kerr at number 3. Sophie Devine at number 4, the skipper herself. Easy Gaze, she played brilliantly as a wicketkeeper batsman number 5. Brooke Halliday, Maddie Green, Jess Kerr, Lee Tahu, Fran Jonas, and you have Hannah Rowe. Here is my predicted playing 11, Gurpalji. More or less from the World Cup,
Same.
going
I
with
think
a
I will
few
go with the same.
new names. What are yours?
I will go with the same 11 for New Zealand because you don't need to experiment much. But if you're
Correct.
adding the new game, so they will definitely wanted to have give them game time for the ODI series as well because you have to give some break to the T20 specialists as well.
Correct.
So I'm going with the same team.
So you're going with same 11 when it comes to New Zealand women, just like I've given way. Fair enough. When it comes to predictions time now, first ODI, India versus New Zealand at the Narendra Modi Stadium. Starting with Deepu, yes or no? India lead or New Zealand leads?
This is tough one to be honest, but I think India will be good enough to actually win this game after that debacle what we saw in Dubai. So I think it will India will come out as the with flying colors in this game.
Okay, any percentage? 60-40?
Okay, I will go with 51-49 in favor of India.
51-49. That's so close, I must tell you. Gurpalji, what's yours?
See again, I'm saying India will win. Yeah, they have definitely they have to win because we have lost the World Cup. So it's not
Yeah.
like that. We will lose all the series. And plus, we are playing in the home ground at Narendra Modi Stadium. So 55-45 towards India. And I hope our spinners will
Okay.
rock. We have to see the pitch as well. But
Okay,
I'm sure the
55-45.
spinners will rock.
Okay, 55-45. You're hoping that the spinners will rock Narendra Modi Stadium. Let's hope the crowds also come in numbers. Not expecting a packed crowd, but at least some crowd to cheer for the woman in blue as well. Thank you so much, Pali. Thank you so much, Deepu, as well. Thank you to all of you for watching this video. First ODI, India woman versus New Zealand woman, all the way from Narendra Modi Stadium, because you need to set up early because India men's are also taking on the New Zealand men's all the way from Pune as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.